How's it going, my bones? SilverDFanng back with more YouTube reactions. We got a new one. This is the creator Strange Aeons, or Eons? I never know how to pronounce that. A-E-I-O-N kind of thing. This is the etymology, the origin of Rawr XD, or Rawr XD. Enjoy. Blue, we're doing it. We're watching the etymology of Rawr.
Rawr XD nuzzles you, ooh woo. Mr. Obama, why do we say the things that we say? Why do those of us who were raised by the internet speak in silly riddles?
Because we don't understand cringe unless it's right in our face.
Last year I made a video investigating the origins of ooh woo, specifically how it went from being an emoticon created out of the generalized emoticon language.
We might have to watch the etymology of ooh woo. You heard what you heard, Kai.
Of the 90s to being used like a word. Recently someone suggested that I should do Rawr XD, and I thought that sounded like a fun challenge. Today, Rawr XD is a phrase we use often to invoke nostalgia for the scene subculture, you know, emo's colorful cousin with worse music taste.
True.
Oh, to be a scene kid
incoming at break.
Commenting Rawr XD on hot girls' MySpace pictures. Rawr XD is thought of as cute, flirty, representing unashamedly cringe affection between scene kids, and the sentiment that cringe is dead in general. But why?
It is not.
Let's break it down.
Cringe is alive.
Here, okay? Rawr and XD. XD is an emoticon face, like ooh woo. I should stand on this side so you can see it better. The D is like a widely smiling, laughing mouth.
Makes sense.
The X, I think, would be literally translated as dead, but in this case it's like dying laughing. So XD is like...
Okay, I'm with you, okay. D is big smile, X is dying. Combined, they're dying of laughter. I got you, okay. Take notes.
Oh my god, that's so funny, I'm dying laughing. Oh my god, my scene bangs.
So... etymology is the study of how a word becomes a word. So it's the history of the word.
My scene banks. Can't fucking move your head with these things. XD was widely used throughout the 2000s and 2010s, basically until emojis.
Oh, Blue, don't worry. This is not a Gen Z thing. This is 100% a millennial thing. This is our fault.
The humble emoticon. It was super normal. It wasn't associated with any particular niche or subculture. It was just a common way that people would say.
Damn right we tainted you. Oh, wait, no, I don't like saying that.
Source, I was there. I remember 2010. Easy.
So do I.
We understand XD. Rawr is a deeper rabbit hole. But before we get into it, a word from this video's sponsor, Helix. It's time to get cozy for the winter season, and if your mattress sucks, well, that just won't do now, will it? Helix makes premium mattresses customized to fit your unique needs and conveniently shipped straight to your door. Everyone's different. Everyone sleeps differently, which is why Helix has a sleep quiz designed to match you with your perfect mattress based on your body type and
maybe I should take that.
If you sleep with a partner, you can take the quiz together to find something that is the perfect compromise for the two of you. Based on my results, Helix matched me with their Twilight Luxe mattress.
Maybe I never know what a good bed is.
Before your eyes. It is their firmest mattress. I do tend to like a firmer mattress because of the scoliosis demons.
Oh no!
My spine. Helix has been reviewed against hundreds of competitors.
I feel for you, girl.
Most awarded. The Helix Midnight Luxe has been ranked the best overall mattress according to both Forbes and Wired. But if that's not the one for you, the Helix lineup offers...
Why is Wired doing articles on mattresses? They're Wired. It's all tech.
20 unique mattresses to choose from, as well as a line of mattress toppers that are designed to be used on non-Helix mattresses. So if you're looking to improve your old mattress, these are an excellent option. They've got the premium mattress topper. For sleepers who are looking for added pressure relief, the Ergo Align mattress topper, which has 3 support zones to optimize spinal alignment. The Dual Comfort mattress topper, which is made for couples with different sleep preferences. You can also adjust the firmness of every mattress topper, which I think is pretty cool. I've had my Helix mattress for around 3 years now, and I still absolutely love it. Myself, my partner, our beautiful baby Binguses are sleeping excellently on it. And if it makes you nervous to buy a mattress that you haven't tried out in person, don't worry.
Look at that kitty.
Returns and exchanges. You get a 120-night sleep trial. You can sleep on this baby for 120 nights before you decide if you really love it. There's also a lifetime warranty. There are financing options, flexible payment plans. I really like my Helix mattress, so if you're in the market for a new bed, go check them out. And now is a great time to do so. If you visit my magical link, helix.com/strangeaeons, you can take advantage of their extended Cyber Monday sale and get 20% off site-wide. And now I return you to your regularly scheduled content. Rawr. It comes from
Rawr.
except spelling it with a W makes it cuter sounding. It's kind of cute in the same way that uwu is cute. But that does not mean
Rawr. Yeah, it's cuter.
that it's related to uwu. It is not, okay? Typing quirks and purposeful misspellings were really popular as a way of conveying tone and personality in a text-based medium. It probably started because texting was like kind of a nightmare in the 90s and 2000s. And to illustrate this, I have a physical artifact to show the class, okay? This is my first phone. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Oh yes. My God.
The keyboard looks like this. This is a special texting keyboard. This was definitely designed with like hip teens and tweens who like to text.
My first phone didn't even have the texting option. It was just that kind of brick. It was a flip phone.
In mind.
Back in my day, middle school and high school was transverse periods of changing to Wi-Fi.
I used this thing until like 2014, honestly, and by then some of my friends had iPhones, and like there was no comparison. Okay, this was about the best it got, and it wasn't great. Of course, you're going to invent short forms and spell things as minimally and as possible when you have to type on this.
Yep.
And that disrespect for the English language that was necessary when texting eventually made its way into just online communication in general. So even when using a
because we got lazy,
keyboard, a lot of young people just wrote weirdly to distinguish themselves. I think My Immortal is an excellent specimen for studying that. Yes, it is known for its insane amount of spelling mistakes, and many do seem the result of someone who is just typing too fast. But I would argue a decent amount of the creative spellings in My Immortal.
Special thanks, get it, cause I'm gothic. To my GF, ew, not in that way. Raven, Bloody Tear, 666. For helping me with the story and spelling. You rock, Justin. You're the love of my depressing life. You rock too. MCR rock. That is an offer.
Are done on purpose. Proper English doesn't really suit the way that she wants to express herself, so she very freely messes
then I did my job, Blue.
Grammar to make her online writing sound more like her authentic voice and to fit her goth aesthetic. So Rawr is a cute roar, but how did it become so popular? And among emo and scene kids specifically, I feel like we see Rawr the most often when it comes to the phrase Rawr means I love you in Dinosaur. Everywhere from Hot Topic shirts to boomer memes. It makes sense then to assume that the popularity of Rawr comes from that phrase and that it was adopted as a coded way of saying I love you. But that is not correct, okay? To assume such a thing, it may seem logical. It's a good theory, but it is wrong. The use of Rawr predates the phrase Rawr means I love you in Dinosaur by around 5 years. How do I know this, you might ask? Where does one go to hear the authentic voices of cringe middle schoolers from the 2000s,
Guy Online,
echoing through the ages, to wake their skinny jean wearing
Club
ghosts
Penguin,
and shake them down for answers? It's fanfiction authors' notes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And what I discovered is that we were Rawring in 2003, which is way earlier than I expected. The Know Your Meme page for Rawr XD points to this 2004 DeviantArt post as the earliest known use of it. But as usual, Know Your Meme is wrong. I'm just kidding. Know Your Meme is a great resource a lot of the time, but
joke's on you, chat. I am numb to this. I feel no shame, Rawr XD uwu.
For some of these more obscure ones, that is not the oldest searchable Rawr XD on DeviantArt. This is the oldest searchable Rawr XD on DeviantArt, and it is from 2003, like the earliest example from fanfiction.net. Both of those sites show the emergence and immediate spike in usage of Rawr in 2003. We were Rawring in 2003, yes, but it did not mean I love you in Dinosaur. The first evidence of Rawr means I love you in Dinosaur entering people's vocabulary isn't until 2008. Sasuke-kun, do you know what Rawr means?
Sorry, I gotta do this. Oh god, this is so tempting. Sasuke-kun, do you know what Rawr means in Dino language?
In Dino language? So why then were we Rawring? I came across a 2008 blog post claiming to teach you how to talk and act like a scene kid. Some people type like this, but that gets really annoying and is best used sparingly. To say that something is very cool or the best,
Blue, that's a good joke.
That is the sex, or
Disney
that is
XD is dead.
So Vogue. P.S. Vogue is a fashion magazine, and saying that means something is fashionable or modern. The only text talk to regular talk a scene kid is allowed to use is OMG. Do not say LOL in real life or you'll be a poser. That is not good. Scenes are known for being very random, but be sparing. No one likes the person who shouts, "I like cupcakes," every 2 minutes. Rawr and Gur are additions, mostly used to express frustration. You are not seen if you dress and talk like one. You must be into the music too. No Jonas Brothers and Skin.
Wasn't Scene Kids just goth kids light? Weren't they the posers? I don't... Scene Kids were not popular where I was. You were either goth or you just really liked black. Look, it was Slimming.
Jeans / bright eyeliner. They don't work well together. Become invested in the local / indie scene, metal, screamo, electronica, or techno / trance. Scene gets its name from music scene. Angry commenters quickly inform the writer of this post that you can't just force yourself to dress or talk or act a certain way to fit a label. That's literally being a poser. In fact, anyone who actually calls themselves scene or emo is a tryhard poser. And if you're really...
I know.
Nice to meet you.
I don't miss this subculture of hipsters where if you talk about something, you're now lame. It's just community destroying.
Just different, then you can't be categorized, okay? Which I think is a good reminder of the silliness of trying to define these things. You know, that we are imposing labels and definitions on a group of people.
Blue, I need to get millennial on your ass. Blue says, Jonas Brothers, why are we talking about Jonas Brothers now and their old TV show Big Red or some shit? So Jonas Brothers was really popular around this time, and Scene Kids didn't like it, and also you're thinking of Big Rush. Jonas Brothers had their own show, but that was on Disney called Jonas.
Who really didn't use them, and in fact hated them, and that very few people ever fit cleanly into categories like scene.
By that, it's Big Time Rush. That was on Nickelodeon.
Emo, hardcore, and very few people who use the word rawr ever gave it a definition. They might not even use it the same way as the next person might use it. So is it futile? Is our mission to understand rawr futile? No. No, I will not give up yet. While I agree with the unfortunate poser writer of this blog post that Gur is an expression of frustration,
Both shows were lame, Kai.
Than that. I disagree with Rawr being lumped in with that, because Rawr can be that, but Rawr is so much more complicated than that also. In search of a true understanding of Rawr, we must examine the primary sources. The first place I looked was fanfiction.net, and honestly...
Oh, there was also the Naked Brothers band. Yeah, there was a weird time in kids' TV of trying to make boy bands into reality stars, well, not reality stars, but into like TV comedians. It was weird.
Harrowing experience at first. Disclaimer, I do not own Gossip Girl. Rawr. Rate and review. Rawr. Enjoy. Rated M for cussin' and some girl-on-girl smut.
Rawr.
AU. Please comment.
Rawr.
Apocalypse.
Rawr.
Rated T for imagery, not a lemon.
Rawr.
Complete. Please rate and review. Rawr.
Rawr.
Wizardmon looked out to the sea and saw...
Rawr.
We didn't find out what he saw. Middle-aged Gundam pilots trying to manage a rescue mission.
Rawr.
Slight yaoi. Another one of my sappy stories. I had to write a Cho Cedric fic, so rawr.
Rawr.
The way that people are dropping rawr like it's punctuation, like...
I don't understand the terminology of a lemon. I agree with you, Kai. The cartoon ones were better.
It's an emoticon, almost.
I like GarageBand.
Is rawr like the inverse of uwu? You know, uwu is an emoticon that came to be used like a word.
I feel uwu is meant to be innocent and cute. Rawr is like you're getting some freaky, sexy shit.
Rawr, a word that has no literal definition, but is used almost like an emoticon to signify tone? Somehow? If so, what tone? Like, I'm still confused. Rawr. Haha, did I get your attention? Well, this story is about Ayame and Koga.
The tone is these girls want to see these boys fuck. That's the tone.
Oh my god, okay. Okay, so, the 2000s and early 2010s were the era of random humor. It's hard to explain the appeal of this if you were not in middle school at the time, because in retrospect, it is really, truly annoying. Are you random? Moo, oink, rawr, see? Purple angel, gerbil, Rawr XD. Rawr, I'm a goldfish, you know.
I don't miss random humor. Random humor was never funny.
know, the usual. Unicorns go rawr. Rawr certainly feels at home among these proclamations of quirky nonsense. So, is it true? Is it futile then? Is this when we give up?
Oh no, no, Kai. Never go back to Wattpad, Kai. No, the horse.
Here a little longer. I will continue to ask, why does Sasuke keep saying rawr? Let's go back to the absolute basics, right? On the most literal level, rawr is a cute roar, or like a growl, you know, the noise of some scary animal with fangs that is also cute. So on DeviantArt, you see a lot of people using it in the captions of their drawings of animals or fantasy.
I'm not gonna lie, this was also probably the beginnings of a lot of people's furry awakenings. Rawr definitely brought a lot of furry art and OCs, and Rawr, even though it was for the scene community, also probably made a lot of furries.
See creatures or anthropomorphic characters. You see it used a lot when people are designing their edgy original characters who they've given fangs and claws and wings and etc. And yes, she has fangs like Namek and nice pointy nails. Rawr. She is also called Ninjasaurus. Rawr XD.
This is the most 13-year-old OC, and I fucking love it. Ninjasaurus is this edgy, pride, angsty, emo wolf thing. Gotta love this.
Sometimes, though, you will literally just see a picture of a normal cat captioned Rawr because it's a cute animal. Okay, so these are uses of Rawr that are starting to make sense. And what else might you do if you are perhaps some kind
of... Oh no, Rawr did not start the furry awakening. That happened earlier, but this helped a lot of people, probably.
A creature with fangs and claws. Fight, defend yourself. There are certainly uses of Rawr that reflect that. As someone in a game who never trash talks, I do find it irritating when people are all Rawr at each other instead of playing the game. Rawr XD, a sketch I did of Domon Kashu from G Gundam. Kushina being a Rawr feminist ninja. What fighting style are you? A McGonagall Umbridge showdown. Rawr. When Cortex was finally able to stand on his foot again, he stormed over to his minions. What are you boneheads saying about me? He roared. Rawr! Sometimes fanfiction authors will rawr at their potential audiences as a sort of gentle threat away from content they might not like. Yowie! Rawr! Be warned! Rate and review. Enjoy! No flames! Rawr! You have been warned! Rawr! Read or die! Rawr! Rawr! Don't post or steal, please. And yeah, I know I probably spelled Mirier wrong. Good. Rawr. Rawr winds up being used to express all kinds of frustrations. I'm trying to get all of my commission line arts finished today since school starts tomorrow. Rawr XD. I look so handsome here, OMG. I want to be a guy now. Rawr. Update. I made a mistake. I deleted this one on accident, so I had to fix it. Rawr. Damn it, Evan. You had to stick out your tongue. Rawr almost always expresses semi-joking anger due to its cuteness. You could be saying, you stupid illiterate haters, fuck off if you don't like my yaoi, but you're not. You're saying rawr. The aggression is fake. I think pairing it with XD adds even another layer of irony or self-awareness. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna get you, LOL. You're laughing at yourself when you say that. From here, Rawr becomes an expression of being jokingly edgy, scary, villainous, but also cute. Darkness will conquer all. Rawr! These edgy, scary creature implications, I think, is what makes it so popular with the, I don't know, emo scene, goth type crowd. In fact, there is a delightful amount of rawring vampires on DeviantArt. Another thing I did not expect, there's so many funny vampire selfies and vampire art. Attacks you and bites you. Rawr XD.
I do not miss this period of people. History lesson. I don't know if it's still a thing, but in the 2000s and early 2010s, a lot of people identified themselves as vampires, and some of them really got into it, and there was like bloodletting and like simple like soft biting on necks and stuff. I don't miss it. It was awful. You might be asking, why do I know this? Because I went on a date with one of these people, and it was awful. Your sister was one of these vampires? Kai, you're a good friend for being a bodyguard. Those costumes are expensive.
Take this quiz or I will bite you, Rawr. Maybe I was a monster. Maybe the rumors were true. So, Rawr and stuff. You see a lot of poses like this, like a claw or a paw of sorts. Sometimes it's more claw, sometimes it's more paw.
Hated
And people
this.
doing the growling faces in selfies.
Hated this.
And of course,
It was so
wherever you have
cringy back
monsters,
then,
you
it's
inevitably
cringy
have
now.
monster fuckers. There are plenty of examples of Rawr being used to express attraction. Sexy emo boys, Rawr. I think he's hot, Rawr XD. How are you with boys? Rawr. But seriously, how are you with boys?
Ha!
He's so sexa, sitting there on my wallpaper, Rawr. Ben decides to have fun with one tall, dark, and handsome ex-con, Rawr. LOL, it's my first lemon. So when you
I don't know what a lemon is.
comment Rawr on someone's MySpace picture, are you trying to seduce them, or fight them, or warrior cats roleplay with them? It's gonna depend on the context. To make things even more vague and unhelpful to any time travelers looking to go back to 2007, there are plenty of examples of Rawr being used as an expression of just kind of excitement or a burst of energy, you know? Something like, yay, awesome, excited to be here. Rawr, another one. Rawr, yay, my second quiz, I love it. My first thing on Quizazz. The title explains it perfectly. Please take, Rawr. Made up my own Sailor Scout, Rawr.
So just in case you thought that Gen Alpha were unique and quirky for just creating words that mean nothing, no, every generation does this. This is right up there with Skibbity and 6-7.
XD. Sometimes Rawr is almost like an excited greeting, like, hello, exclamation point. I'm here and I'm cute, edgy. I'll update this page later. Sweat, Rawr. Hello, Rawr XD. I'm traditional, no computer tablets or coloring programs, etc., talking about their art. This brings us finally to Rawr means I love you in dinosaur. If you Google that phrase today, one of the first pictures you will find is...
Ah, you lost me. I don't... Wait, is the Warrior Cats that, like... It was like a comic, wasn't it? It was like a webtoon or like a fan fiction. I think I've heard a little bit of the Warrior Cats.
This one, or some variation of it. There's tons of variations of it. The original is this pencil drawing posted to DeviantArt on December 6th, 2007. However, just because this cute dinosaur drawing seems to have gotten really popular doesn't mean that it invented the phrase, Rawr means I love you in dinosaur. It didn't. There is an earlier use of the phrase from March 2008 on DeviantArt, and one from October of 2008 on fanfiction.net. So, although I am confident in dating this phrase to 2008, I don't know who originally came up with it, who originally
It's a
posted it
mystery.
online. Just that popularizing it seems to have been the collective effort of artists on DeviantArt, probably other websites too at the time.
I don't
who made
miss
a ton
DeviantArt.
of drawings and edits inspired by it.
Oh
and
wait,
all of
no,
their
it's
different
4chan
styles.
I don't miss.
There's so many different ones out there. Finally, we have arrived at the most well-known meaning of Rawr, but let us not forget all of its history leading up to that point. In the words of one DeviantArt poet, Rawr means I loved you in dinosaur. Rawr gives a sense of false anger. Rawr is such a cute word. Rawr. I broke a nail. Ooh. Rawr. I love you. Just Rawr.
You know I got it. Raw means I love you in dinosaur. Raw gives a sense of false anger. Raw is such a cute word. Raw, I broke a nail. Ooh. Raw, I love you. Just raw.
Smiling cat face.
DeviantArt was okay.
Going to shed a tear.
I was thinking of
Our
4chan.
final remaining question is, how did Rawr XD become a unit? Not only Rawr or XD, but Rawr XD. A phrase deeply rooted in scene aesthetics. What is scene, anyway? Besides emo's colorful cousin with worse music taste. To understand...
I still think, to me, scene kids are just emos that can't commit. Sorry, that's what I think since the beginning.
that we have to understand a little bit about MySpace, the social media site which came out in 2003 and reigned supreme until it was dethroned by Facebook in 2009.
No!
90s, 2000s, pre-MySpace, alt-music subculture already included a diverse hodgepodge of different...
I also miss 4chan, kind of, like, I was around when 4chan was popular, but I never went on it, but I've heard horror stories, Kai. MySpace was around high school still. That's actually surprising. Because I thought MySpace died in like 2011, 2012. Huh.
music genres and different fashions that emulated those music genres. Emo was kind of the newest offshoot at that point. A lot of young people in those subcultures were quick to adopt MySpace. And the story goes that there were these teenage girls,
Nope.
mostly teenage girls. Jeffree
Don't
Star
say
was
it.
also there, and they became early influencers. They were good at looking cool on the internet, and they amassed a ton of followers. And because of the influence these kids had on fashion, taste, etc., people started to call them scene queens, as in, like, queens of this subcultural scene. What we would probably now call emo, but they didn't really call it then. Back then, sometimes they would call it hardcore or just the scene. And then that got distorted into the niche that scene queens represented, specifically being called scene, which is super confusing. Good job on that, everyone. In a 2020 interview, former scene queen Annabeth Merjos reflects that she and her friends were just 3 teenage girls who met on MySpace. They would have quirky photo shoots dressed up in tutus and crowns and clashing brightly colored things.
Cosplaying already exists, but I would not be surprised if former scene girls got into cosplay when they got actual money because they really like the idea of just amateur photo shoots. I think they just wanted to be models.
We all connected because we lived close and we were in these very emo, hardcore music scenes. I used to go to shows 2 or 3 times a week. That world was my whole life. I didn't hear the term scene queen until I was 17 or 18. Yes, they were really that young, and adult men were not normal about it. That was like a...
Let's be honest, Kai. A lot of people are hard on themselves and they wouldn't go into fashion. Cosplaying seemed like a good medium in between.
Really common thing with the... Anyway, I was with Audrey and we were doing a lot of events with this...
I don't miss Instagram, Blue.
We did Warped
That
Tour
one
together.
needs to die.
We had poster signings and things like that. And I just remember girls being like, oh my god, I look up to you guys. You're like the scene queens. And I'm like, what is that? Many of the bands that scene kids became obsessed with were bands that actually got started on MySpace. So it was a very exciting time to be part of this thing, you know? Like, it was all happening. Many of the scene queens went on to date band members and become embroiled in their drama. You know, they weren't just fans. They and the MySpace community were actively creating this thing. The scene, you know? Unlike all of its predecessors, scene is native to the internet. We've always associated certain fashions with certain music, but with scene we also think of typing quirks, certain memes, and internet popular art styles. MySpace's custom profiles with their patterns and glitter and stickers and flashing things and an aesthetic sensory overload that feels very reflected in a lot of scene outfits. It takes the skinny jeans and studded belts and graphic tees from emo, the candy bracelets and bright colors of rave fashions. There's definitely some 80s glam in there with like, I don't think we talk about the influence of 80s glam on scene hair enough, okay? It's like this fabulous hodgepodge of music subcultures past with sparkly rainbow unicorn vomit all over it. However, scene appeared and disappeared as quickly as MySpace did. A very, very bright flash in the pan. But it didn't stay dead. At the very least, the aesthetic didn't stay dead. You know, what I will call scene core fashion, checkerboards and Monster Energy and candy bracelets. Oh boy, it's all back and seemingly more popular than ever. Hashtag Rawring 20s is what they're calling it. Rawr XD, cringe is dead. Put your cat ears on, son, we're going to see a marching band. I've come to realize that Rawr XD is a recent creation. It's an expression of nostalgia for the scene subculture and the young internet. It's certainly something that some scene kids said sometime.
Everything comes back. If you give it 20 years, kids are going to look at that and be like, that's kind of cool, but let's update it. We did it. Our parents did it. It's not new. It's uncomfortable because, yeah, it was cringe, but the kids have fun.
But so did furries and weird internet kids in general. Plus, Rawr and XD didn't always used to have to go together. They so often do now because it's a caricature of how cringe kids used to speak on the internet. It's a frozen artifact compared to the dynamic ways that people used to use these expressions. That said, I would never want to discourage anyone from rawring, okay? If today Rawr XD means cringe is dead, then
let your Rawr freak out.
I am all for the hashtag Rawring20s. I also think that while there is an element of nostalgia to it for some people, there are also a lot of young people who are drawn to these scene-core sort of things just because there's an inherent appeal. They're sparkly and people like them. And scene music was kind of terrible anyway.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Blood on the Dance Floor?
Yeah.
Kids, do not look that one up. My advice to
It's not good.
kids, okay, don't listen to any of the music. Okay,
Yeah.
just take the aesthetic, incorporate even more 80s glam, stop buying fast fashion forever, make more weird art, you'll be fine. And that is all for now. Yours faithfully, Strange Jones. Rawr.
Kai, I hate to tell you this. First of all, great video, Strange Aeons. Love it. I believe the Victoria fashion did come back. Victoria era fashion resurgence. Yeah. Victoria fashion sees a resurgence for modern aesthetics like cottagecore and dark academia. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. Check me out on Twitch, SilverDFanng, 2 N's in Fang. Check me out on Twitter and Blue Sky under the same name. Also TikTok. Have a great night.